A lot of people overcomplicate the idea of building a Metro 2 reporting system. They hear the phrase Metro 2 and immediately think expensive software, giant servers, and some crazy level of technical skill. But the truth is, building a Metro 2 reporting system from scratch is actually a lot more about structure and consistency than it is about advanced technology. And when you break it down the right way, you start realizing that becoming your own reporting source is not only doable, it is actually one of the smartest ways to build credit the right way without begging for trade lines or waiting for someone else to post information on your behalf. So let me talk to you the same way I would talk to someone who wants stronger credit, wants higher approvals, wants access to real funding, and wants to stop playing from the consumer side. The reason you build a Metro 2 system is because the people who control credit are the people who report the data. Once you become the one who reports the data, the whole relationship between you and the bureaus shifts. Instead of sitting back waiting for your score to change, you become the source that actively creates the score changes. And when you understand that, the entire credit world feels different. The first thing you need to understand is that a Metro 2 system is simply a pipeline. It is nothing more than a structured way to move your account data from your business into the databases of Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion in a format that they trust. What you are building is a bridge between you and them, and that bridge needs four things to exist: a clean workspace, a way to store and organize account data, a Metro 2 software or system that formats everything correctly, and a secure method to deliver those files to the bureaus without exposing sensitive information. Once you have these pieces lined up, you have a functioning reporting system. So let us start with something anyone can set up: your workspace. When you think workspace, most people picture cubicles or big offices, but what you actually need is a private room, a locked door, and a clean desk with nothing unnecessary on it. You want a dedicated computer, not your personal laptop, not the same device you scroll social media on, but a machine that is used for one thing only: managing and reporting account information. That alone increases your professionalism and your security. Instantly, when the bureaus ask you later about your setup, you can confidently say, yes, my workspace is isolated, my system is secure, and my data is protected. The next piece is how you store and organize data, and this matters because every mistake in reporting comes from sloppy data handling. If your information is disorganized, then your Metro 2 files will be disorganized, which leads to rejections from the bureaus. So you want to build a simple but clean folder system with three categories: consumer data reporting files and dispute files. Consumer data holds the core information like names, dates of birth, addresses, account details, balances, and statuses. Reporting files hold every Metro 2 file you submit month by month with the date clearly marked, and dispute files hold every consumer interaction, documentation, communication, and outcome of any dispute that comes in from Oscar or directly from the bureaus. And now let us get into the part everyone gets nervous about: the Metro 2 software itself. A lot of people think you need to be a coder for this part, but you do not. Metro 2 software already exists and is designed to do the hard formatting work for you. Programs like Credit Manager software are built to let you input account information into simple boxes, and the software then converts it into a Metro 2 file automatically. This saves you from dealing with fixed width fields and makes reporting something you can do even if you know nothing about programming. The only responsibility you have is to make sure the information going into the software is accurate, because the output can only be as clean as the input. And here's the part people overlook: accuracy is the actual secret sauce. When it comes to building a strong reporting system, the bureaus want to trust you. And the fastest way to build trust is by consistently sending in perfectly formatted, accurate files. If your system is clean, your files get accepted without error. Once the bureaus see you are reliable, they begin treating you like a real partner and not a new beginner. And that is exactly how small furnishers eventually gain the same respect lenders get. So how do you actually build the system from scratch? You begin with sample data, not real data, not consumer accounts, not portfolios, just sample entries you create for the purpose of testing the system. You can generate synthetic names and fake account information using tools like Mockaroo or random data generators. You then input this test data into your Metro 2 software and export your first Metro 2 file. That file becomes your practice file. It is the sandbox where you learn the rhythm of the system before touching anything real. This is important for two reasons. The first reason is skill building. You need to build enough comfort with the system that when you finally report something real, you are calm, not guessing. The second reason is bureau approval. The bureaus will literally ask you to send them a sample Metro 2 file during your application process. And if you already practiced with test files, you will be able to give them a clean, polished sample that proves you know how to operate this system at a basic professional standard. Once you have your first test file exported, you will want to run it through error checks. Your software will tell you if anything is misaligned, and if the software does not catch an issue, the bureaus will when they look at your file. So testing prevents embarrassment and makes you look competent. You adjust the errors, you fix misalignment issues, you correct dates, statuses, or formatting, and you repeat the process until your sample files export perfectly without errors. This part is not glamorous, but it is the difference between getting approved and getting rejected. Now let us talk about the secure delivery system, because this is where the bureaus get strict. Even if your Metro 2 file is perfect, they will not accept it through regular email or regular upload. because Metro 2 files contain sensitive information that must be transferred through encrypted channels, so you need a secure file transfer protocol, also known as SFTP. This is basically a locked tunnel between you and each bureau. You can use tools like WinSCP or FileZilla to create that secure tunnel, and once the bureaus approve you, they will give you login credentials so you can upload your files directly to their system each month. This is the final piece that turns your setup into a functioning reporting machine. Now let us imagine you built your workspace, your data structure, your Metro 2 software system, and your SFTP delivery pipeline. What do you actually have at this point? You have a functioning Metro 2 reporting system. And here's what that means in real life. It means you have the same infrastructure a bank has, you have the same reporting capability a lender has, you have the ability to create primary trade lines. Instead of buying them, you have the ability to add age and payment history to your own profile or someone else's profile once the account is resolved and they have signed consent, and you have the ability to influence the strength of your credit file directly instead of relying on outside companies. And this is why people who build Metro 2 systems eventually stop thinking like consumers and start thinking like institutions, because institutions understand something most people do not understand. Credit is built intentionally, not accidentally. Banks do not just hope their customers' payments get reported. They have a system they built for that purpose. You now are learning how to build your own smaller version of that system so you can create approvals instead of crossing your fingers hoping for approvals. And let me say this clearly, building your own Metro 2 system puts you in the 1%, not because it is difficult, but because most people will never take the time to learn how the system works behind the scenes. And that is why most people stay dependent on credit repair companies and third-party vendors for years instead of learning the foundation that puts the power in their hands. If you build this system from scratch, you are not just learning credit, you are learning the back end of credit. The part lenders use, the part furnishers use, the part debt buyers use, the part the public never sees. And that is exactly why it is so powerful for building your own credit profile or creating opportunities to help others build theirs. Think about what this does for your outcomes. If you want higher limit credit cards, this system lets you build the depth to qualify. If you want personal loans or auto loans, this system helps you create history that lenders trust if you want business funding. This system gives you the back-end understanding needed to structure your personal file before using it as a guarantor. If you want to create your own credit-building business, this system gives you the foundation that separates real operations from people who are just selling access to trade lines without understanding anything deeper. And this is why I always tell people building a Metro 2 reporting system is not about reporting data. It is about owning your data. It is about finally being in the seat of control. It is about moving from the outside of the credit world to the inside. And once you sit on the inside long enough, you begin to realize how much freedom comes from understanding how this structure works. The power is not in the score. The power is in the system that creates the score. And now you are building that system yourself from scratch.